Contract Administration, Key Terms and Concepts. Module Overview. This module aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of key terms commonly used in contract administration. It elaborates on the terminology found in construction contracts, helping architects and other project stakeholders understand the roles, responsibilities, and procedures involved. Each term is explained in depth, offering clarity for effectively administering construction contracts. Key terms used in contract administration: inspection, supervision, and superintendence. Inspection. Definition: inspection involves examining work to verify its compliance with the contract specifications and drawings. This is one of the architect's key roles during the construction process to ensure quality and adherence to the agreed standards. Frequency and scope. Inspections may be planned at different stages, e.g., during the foundation, structural framing, and finishing stages. The scope involves examining not only the quality of materials, but also the methodology used in installation to ensure consistency with project requirements. Types of inspections. Inspections can be scheduled inspections done at predetermined stages as part of the agreed contract process. Spot checks, conducted randomly to ensure that standards are consistently maintained throughout construction. Documentation. Inspection results should be documented and communicated clearly to both the contractor and client, highlighting any deviations or concerns that need rectification. Supervision. Definition: supervision is the act of overseeing the construction work, providing directions, and ensuring adherence to safety standards. It focuses on monitoring progress to prevent errors or deviations from the planned work. Role in risk management. Effective supervision helps mitigate risks related to quality and safety. Supervisors identify issues such as poor material quality, incorrect installation techniques, or unsafe work practices, addressing them before they escalate. Collaboration with contractors. Supervision also involves working closely with the contractor to communicate expectations, address questions, and solve problems on site, ensuring smooth project flow. Safety supervision. Besides quality, supervision includes ensuring that contractors adhere to health and safety regulations, which is crucial for minimizing workplace accidents. Superintendence. Definition: superintendence is the management of the actual work process on the construction site. This term is often used to describe the contractor's role in directly overseeing their workforce and managing site operations. Scope of superintendence. Superintendence is broader than supervision. It includes coordinating subcontractors, ensuring materials are used correctly, and resolving day-to-day on-site issues. Decision-making authority. The superintendent typically has decision-making authority regarding scheduling, workforce allocation, and sequencing of activities, which are essential to meeting deadlines and maintaining workflow. Approval and certification. Approval. Definition: approval is the formal acceptance of work, materials, or any deviations from the contract by the architect or authorized personnel. It ensures that every modification or material used aligns with the quality and aesthetics intended in the original design. Types of approval. Material substitutions. If the contractor proposes a substitute for a specified material, it must receive written approval from the architect before being used. Shop drawings. Approval of shop drawings is necessary to ensure that custom-made elements like cabinetry or window frames meet design requirements. Implications of approval. Once approval is given, it signifies that the architect deems the item or modification acceptable, but it does not necessarily relieve the contractor of the responsibility to meet the performance requirements. Certification. Definition: certification refers to the formal process where the architect or contract administrator confirms specific work outcomes, such as progress, milestones, or practical completion. Progress certification. Purpose: progress certification allows for staged payments, keeping the contractor's cash flow stable while ensuring that payments are linked to verified work. Documentation. The architect certifies that work has been carried out satisfactorily according to the contract and the certification process includes an evaluation of quality and adherence to the program schedule. Types of certificates. Practical Completion Certificate certifies that the project has reached a stage where the owner can use the property for its intended purpose, though minor defects may still exist. Final Certificate. This signifies the completion of all work, including the rectification of defects, marking the final acceptance of the building by the owner. Bill of Quantities, Clerk of Works, and Contingency Sum. Bill of Quantities. Definition. A bill of quantities is a detailed document prepared by a quantity surveyor that itemizes every component of work required for the project. This document serves as a pricing tool, allowing for transparent and equitable comparisons during tendering. Content. Itemized list. The BOQ contains a breakdown of materials, quantities, and work descriptions, making it easy to determine what is included in the project cost. Basis for tendering. Contractors use the BOQ to price their bids accurately, ensuring all parties have a common understanding of the project's scope and scale. Role during construction. The BOQ continues to play a role in assessing the cost implications of variations during the project, helping maintain budget control. Clerk of Works. Definition. The Clerk of Works acts as the on-site representative of the owner, providing constant oversight to ensure that the contractor follows the contract's specifications. Responsibilities. Quality assurance. They inspect work in progress, materials delivered, and work methodologies to ensure compliance with the specification. Daily logs. The Clerk of Works maintains detailed records of construction progress, including site conditions, workforce, and materials, which can be critical for resolving disputes. Value to the client. Their presence helps ensure that the owner's interests are protected and provides an additional layer of quality control beyond the architect's. Periodic inspections. Contingency sum. Definition. A contingency sum is an allowance set aside within the contract budget to cover unexpected costs or changes that arise during construction. Usage. Unforeseen conditions. If ground conditions are worse than expected, necessitating additional excavation or foundation work, the contingency sum may cover these unexpected expenses. Owner-initiated changes. If the owner decides on a design change, such as upgrading finishes or adding features, funds from the contingency sum may be used, depending on contractual terms. Importance. Including a contingency sum helps prevent disputes over unexpected costs by ensuring there are funds available for an unforeseen circumstances without significantly impacting the overall budget. Contract period, possession of site, and practical completion. Contract period. Definition. The contract period is the timeframe defined in the contract, covering the beginning of construction through to completion and the rectification of any defects. Components. Construction duration. The time allocated for all construction work to be completed, as agreed upon by the contractor and owner. Defects liability period. Extends beyond practical completion, allowing time for the contractor to correct defects that arise. This period is also known as the defects notification period. Significance. Accurately defining the contract period is crucial for setting realistic expectations and avoiding disputes related to delays or penalties. Date for possession of site. Definition. This is the date by which the contractor must take possession of the construction site to begin work. It is typically specified in the contract and marks the commencement of obligations regarding site management. Obligations. Access and preparation. The owner must ensure that the site is clear and accessible to the contractor by this date. Commencement of works. The contractor must mobilize and commence work according to the agreed schedule, initiating the official timeline for project milestones. Practical completion. Definition. Practical completion represents the point in the project where construction work is substantially complete and fit for occupation, though minor outstanding items or defects may still need to be resolved. Architect's certification. Determining practical completion. The architect inspects the project to determine if it is ready for practical completion. This inspection involves ensuring that all major components are installed and operational. List of outstanding items. Any minor defects or incomplete items are noted in a defects list, and a time frame for their rectification is agreed upon. Effect on contract. Upon achieving practical completion, the owner assumes possession and the defects liability period begins, shifting certain risks and responsibilities from the contractor to the owner. Certificates and defects. Progress certificate. Definition. A progress certificate is issued by the architect to confirm that a certain portion of work has been completed to a satisfactory standard, and that the contractor is entitled to receive payment for that stage. Process. Inspection and verification. The architect inspects the completed work before issuing the certificate, verifying adherence to the project specifications. Payment release. The certificate triggers the release of funds to the contractor, ensuring that progress payments are based on verified work completed. Progress payment. Definition. Progress payment refers to the installments paid to the contractor during the project as specified in the contract. These payments align with the stages outlined in the construction schedule and are intended to ensure that the contractor has sufficient cash flow. Linked to milestones. Payments are tied to specific milestones, such as completion of foundations, structural framework, or installation of services. Documentation. Each payment requires supporting documentation, including the progress certificate, proof of material delivery, and invoices. Final certificate. Definition. The final certificate is issued once all construction work, including the rectification of defects, has been completed to the satisfaction of the architect. It represents the final acceptance of the works by the owner. Implications. Release of retention. The issuance of the final certificate typically triggers the release of the remaining retention money. End of contractor liability. It signals the end of the contractor's responsibilities, except for any latent defects that may arise later, depending on warranty provisions. Defects and defects liability period. Definition. A defect is any failure of the completed work to meet the contractual requirements, whether due to poor materials, faulty workmanship, or non-compliance with plans and specifications. Defects liability period. Purpose. The defects liability period allows time for any problems to be identified and corrected by the contractor. It typically starts at practical completion and lasts for a period ranging from 3 to 12 months, depending on the contract terms. Architect's role. The architect compiles a list of all identified defects and works with the contractor to ensure their timely correction. Retention fund, subcontracts, and provisional sums. Retention sum fund. Definition. A retention fund is created by holding back a portion of each payment made to the contractor. This fund serves as a form of security for the owner to ensure that all obligations are fulfilled. Management of retention. Retention percentage. Typically, 5 to 10% of each progress payment is held as retention, which accumulates throughout the project. Release conditions. Half of the retention sum may be released upon practical completion, while the remaining amount is held until the end of the defects liability period and the issuance of the final certificate. Subcontract. Definition. A subcontract involves a contract between the main contractor and another party to perform a specific part of the work. Subcontracting allows the main contractor to utilize specialized skills not available within their own team. Nominated subcontractors. In some cases, the architect or client may nominate a particular subcontractor based on their expertise or preferred materials, ensuring that specialized work meets specific quality standards. Coordination. The main contractor is responsible for managing the subcontractors, ensuring their work aligns with the overall schedule and quality requirements. Provisional sum. Definition. A provisional sum is an estimated allowance included in the contract for certain works or items where the scope had yet been defined in detail. Application. Uncertain scope items. Examples might include landscaping, where the exact layout is yet to be finalized, or specialty fittings, where product selection is deferred. Adjustments: once the specific items or tasks are defined, the provisional sum is adjusted to reflect the actual cost. This can result in either a saving or an additional charge to the project budget. Conclusion: the importance of mastery in contract administration. Mastering key terms and concepts in contract administration is crucial for architects and other project stakeholders to navigate their roles effectively. Understanding terms like inspection, practical completion, retention, and certification enables architects to ensure compliance, maintain quality, manage financial flows, and protect the interests of all parties involved in a construction project. By thoroughly grasping these concepts, professionals are equipped to foster smoother project delivery, minimize disputes, and enhance overall client satisfaction.